Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is a series of interviews with Dr. Smita Naram, who is one of the co-founders of Ayurshakti, and she is renowned all around the world as an Ayurvedic doctor. And we're going to be talking about being vegetarian. Now, just before I pressed the record button, Dr. Smita told me she has never eaten meat in her whole life. And I went, wow. And I'm sure there are others out there who are vegetarian. I know that I personally spent many years as a vegetarian, but I'm really fascinated, Dr. Smita. Firstly, I'd like to ask you, what are the benefits to being vegetarian?
Two benefits. Physical benefit, you create less toxins because we spoke about gut health, if you remember. And when you eat particularly meat and processed meat, particularly, is so dangerous. It creates huge amount of toxins because it's very difficult to digest. It definitely is a load on your gut health, and that's why the starting point of any illness or even reducing your energy level is actually spoiling your gut or your digestion. So that's one. The second reason is the spiritual, emotional, and mental reason. So the ancient science says that you have three qualities of mind, and it all shapes up depending on your food. So the first one, which we all have to aim to achieve, is sattva quality of mind. And in short, in one sentence, I would say that the person with the predominant sattva quality of mind will always and always think about doing anything for the higher purpose in their life, including even having any relationship or any work or even raising children with a higher purpose in life. The rajas quality is always and always focused on achieving the goal and more mission oriented. So sattva is like more vision oriented mind, and vision can be also for the vision for your child, for your wife, your relationship, your finances, everything. While rajas is tactical, it's more a mission oriented. I have to achieve this today, but it's not really related with a higher purpose. It's more achievement oriented. And the last one is tamas quality of mind, which is actually more negative thinking, where mostly there is no vision, there's not so much desire to achieve, and mostly blaming others or blaming the past, complaining, and not being proactive. So that's something, that quality is something we don't need. We need it very little. And that person is always in the depression, fear, anxiety, or nervousness, or lower confidence. And when you eat a huge amount of meat, because the animals are slaughtered and they have fear when they are dying, that mind is transferred into our mind. That quality of fear and tamas is transferred, and that is why for a pure quality of mind it is important to eat no meat or very little meat. uh, there are
Wow.
certain food even in vegetarian which is definitely more rajasic and tamasic, but vegetarian doesn't create uh, much tamas, except if you eat vegetarian which is canned and preserved.
Okay.
But in general, it's
Wow.
always sattva and rajas quality, which is what we need in our life to stay emotionally, mentally, and spiritually healthy and renewed.
Wow. And look, just on a practical level, a lot of people, especially in the West, when they talk about being vegetarian or vegan, they say, "Oh, yeah, but you can't get enough nourishment from vegetables. You can't get protein. Where do you get your protein from?" So, what do you say in relationship to that?
Well, I have been a vegetarian all my life. I'm already almost 60 years of age. And you can imagine, so whole of my life, I've been always and always vegetarian. And what I have managed is I have been using right amount of nuts, mung beans, green mung beans, and tofu, and lentils, and different kinds of protein in combination is completing your protein need from vegetarian source. The truth is that vegetarian or meat both has exactly 25 to 30% of the protein. So it's not that the meat has more amount of protein. What's less in meat is carbohydrates. And carbs are actually always creating kind of inflammation in your system. So when you are vegetarian, which I am for my own, sattvic reason, um, I I make sure that I eat less amount of carbs. So nuts, soaked nuts, avocado, those are things which are source of protein with less carb. And that is how you can manage your diet and have a full nourishment. I have seen a lot of people who are meat eaters, also their lack of nourishment, they are feeling weak, tired, because they don't even digest what they have been eating. And even the meat is not having complete nourishment if you don't plan the right kind of food throughout the day.
Wow, that was a 5 minute conversation with Dr. Smita Naram about vegetarianism. So thank you very much, Dr. Smita. You crammed a lot into that. Spiritual, mental, emotional, sattvic, tamasic, rajasic. Wow, we went on a massive journey there with you. So thank you very much. And I guess my final question would be, if someone who's watching this and they have been considering going vegetarian, what advice would you give them?
Do step by step, because I've seen people suddenly jumping from eating meat to not eating, and they can have a real sudden drop in their energy. So go step by step and cut it down step by step, making sure your nourishment is replaced by the right kind of nuts and the beans and everything, so that your protein need is taken care of. And that's how you can do it very well.
Thank you very much, Dr. Smita. And we'll be back really soon with another 5 minute conversation with Dr. Smita.